Life maintenance. Weekend home time prevents the chaos that compounds when basic life infrastructure gets neglected. Meal prep, laundry, cleaning, grocery shopping, life administration. These tasks accumulate into overwhelming crises that destabilize your entire week. When you stay home, you maintain the systems that make weekdays function smoothly instead of lurching from emergency to emergency. The primary advantage is operating from stability rather than constant catch-up mode. Preparing meals for the week means you actually eat well instead of defaulting to expensive, unhealthy convenience food when you're exhausted Tuesday night. Having clean clothes means not wearing questionable combinations or doing panicked midnight laundry. A stocked kitchen means not ordering delivery 3 times because there's nothing to eat. These aren't glamorous activities, but they create the foundation for everything else in your life to function. The trade-off is missing spontaneous weekend adventures and potentially feeling like you're wasting precious free time on chores. But those who protect weekend maintenance time report dramatically smoother weekdays, less stress, lower costs, and the mental space to actually focus on work and relationships rather than managing constant logistical crises. Mask off. During the work week, you maintain a social performance version of yourself. The one that knows what to say, when to laugh, how to fit in, and when to suppress honest reactions. This version smiles on command, manages impressions, and regulates behavior constantly. The moment you close your door on Friday evening, that performance can finally end, and the raw, unfiltered version of yourself gets to exist. The hidden advantage is authentic existence without audience. At home, you don't need to be impressive, pleasant, accommodating, or anything other than exactly who you are in that moment. You can be irritable without apology, silly without judgment, or completely silent without it being awkward. It's the psychological necessity of dropping the social mask that requires constant energy to maintain. You become visible to yourself rather than performing for others' perception. You may miss the energy that comes from social validation and the connection that public activities provide. Though when you're not always performing, you actually know who's underneath. Authenticity requires privacy to develop. Low-threat environment. Home is what scientists call a low-threat environment, and your body responds accordingly. When you're out, navigating social dynamics, managing appearances, processing stimulation, staying alert, your body produces cortisol and maintains defensive vigilance even during fun activities. At home, this biological alarm system can finally quiet. Your cortisol drops, your nervous system exits defend and perform mode, and your body rests. The primary advantage is genuine physiological restoration, not just the absence of activity. When threat response is quiet, your thoughts become clearer because your brain isn't allocating resources to social threat detection. Emotions surface naturally because your guard drops and suppressed feelings can finally process. This is why you often suddenly feel tired or emotional when you get home. Your body is finally safe enough to show you what it's been managing all week. Staying home also allows true recovery, meaning Monday arrives with energy reserves actually restored rather than needing recovery from your recovery time. Rest and entertainment are not the same thing, and mistaking one for the other creates perpetual exhaustion. Your body knows the difference even when your mind doesn't. Financial margin. Going out costs money in ways that compound invisibly. Meals, drinks, activities, transport, parking, impulse purchases, new clothes for events. Even cheap weekends add up. A typical weekend out might cost $50 to $150 between everything, which seems manageable until you calculate annually. That's up to $7,800 per year, redirected away from savings, debt reduction, or investments that actually build your future. That money could eliminate credit card debt, build an emergency fund, take a course that advances your career, or create a strategic off-season vacation that costs half as much and delivers twice the restoration. The financial breathing room compounds over time. Years of weekend savings become real wealth, while years of weekend spending become vague memories of mediocre brunches and forgettable bar nights. The main thing to consider is if you'd rather have some memorable weekends with friends, or one big, very memorable trip, or different type of purchase instead. Who knows, you can even use it to retire earlier. Creative productivity. Deep work, writing, Coding, learning, building, creating requires sustained attention blocks of 3 to 4 hours minimum. Going out fragments time into unusable pieces. Even when weekend plans start at 2 p.m., the morning becomes a dead space because you can't start anything meaningful, knowing it will be interrupted. Staying home creates the protected time where flow states actually happen and projects progress from perpetual someday to actual completion. The hidden advantage is meaningful progress on things you claim to care about but never have time for. That side project, that skill you want to learn, that creative work that stays in your head. These require the kind of uninterrupted immersion that only happens when your calendar is genuinely clear. Weekend mornings without plans become the space where you actually write that essay, code that app, build that furniture, or deeply study that subject. Creating requires this kind of spaciousness. Consumption doesn't. Physical toll. Beyond the psychological benefits, staying home eliminates the physical exhaustion that weekend plans create. No sitting in traffic for 4 hours because everyone has the same idea. No hangovers that steal Sunday. And part of Monday. No physical exhaustion from being on for hours, from standing at events, from late nights that wreck your sleep schedule. Your body simply doesn't accumulate the physical debt that going out creates. The Sunday scaries often aren't about Monday. They're about facing the week already depleted from weekend activities. No hangover means no wasted Sunday, no brain fog Monday, no cycle of using the weekend to recover and then needing to recover from the weekend. No traffic means no rage at losing hours of your life to gridlock, or no stress about timing everything perfectly. No late nights means your circadian rhythm stays consistent instead of shifting and scrambling to readjust. Intentional connection. Staying home doesn't mean avoiding people, it means choosing how you connect. Without default group plans, you can set up one long, unhurried conversation that actually goes somewhere. A deep conversation with a partner, a proper catch-up call with a friend you miss, cooking with a sibling, reading with your kid. No shouting over music, no performative updates, just presence. The hidden advantage is relationship depth. Frequency matters less when the time you spend is emotionally high quality. People remember being listened to, not being seen at a table of 12. And because you're not wrecked from a late night, you show up as your better self. Attentive, warm, patient. The trade-off is fewer photos and less "I was there" validation. The payoff is bonds that hold on ordinary days, not just in group pictures. The same mindset that makes staying home valuable, prioritizing rest over performance, also applies to friendships. Our video on the hidden advantages of having few friends explains why less really can be more.